All right. Thank you, Thea. Miss Kelly, thank you. Wow, Fall Fest, huh? Okay, here we go. This is nice. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I've never been to Indiana before. This is my first time, and thank you. I think I'm already mic'd up here, right? I don't need this. I don't think I need this. All right, let's put this over here. Yeah, so I had a chance to walk around and see the town a little bit and go to the War Memorial, and I went to Rock Bottom. I really want to bring my wife back here. This is a great town. I love it. I love it here. It's great. Yeah. And she's back in Los Angeles. So thank you all for being here. I want to draw for you. I do a comic strip that many of you, unfortunately, have never seen. After today, maybe you check it out. I'm in the Indianapolis Star, so you can check it out there. It's also on a site called Go Comics. Go Comics. www, right? GoComics.com. So check it out there, and it's called JumpStart. All right. So my main character is a police officer named Joe. Joe looks like this. And that's Joe. And Joe is married to a nurse in the strip. Her name is Marcy. Loosely based on my real life wife, although I make up things that have nothing to do with my wife. She doesn't understand that. Like, I'm not really talking about her every time. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes I say something about her. She gets upset, like, who are you talking about? I'm like, no one. I made that up. No one. So Joe and Marcy have been in the strip from its very beginning, which happened, believe it or not, 28 years ago. I signed my deal back in 1989. JumpStart was launched. No, don't clap for that. But thank you. No, every time you hear something, don't clap. You want to hear all kinds of things. Some of it shocking. I signed my deal when I was 26. I was the youngest cartoonist in the country at the time. Currently, I'm only one of 5 African Americans doing this for a living. In other words, doing a syndicated comic strip every day. And of that number, I'm the most widely syndicated African American in the country. No, don't clap for that. No, don't. I mean, now, am I saying all that to stand here at Fall Fest and brag? Yes. Yeah, obviously. So thank you. I've earned it. All right. So. Joe and Marcy have 4 kids. Here's how the kids look. So their oldest is Sonny. Now, when I do my comic strip, you guys, it appears in the paper about 6 weeks after I have created the strip. In other words, what's published today, I actually drew a month and a half ago. So there's many, many strips. You know, I have to work ahead just to come to things like this, you know. When I was new at this, again, 28 years ago, I would use a lot of stuff from my real family. But, like, that was back when my kids were cute. Like, when my daughter was little, like that, she was adorable. She's 25 now. Not cute. She's a grown woman. I mean, I don't even see her that much. She's in San Diego. I live in Los Angeles. I don't really see her that much. And when I do, it's really, you know, like, I get a text, like, hey, Dad. Hey, love you too. That's it. It tells me she's fine. When she was little like that, she was hilarious. I used so much stuff from my oldest child in JumpStart. It's ridiculous. Everything she said inspired me. I mean, I can't give you that many examples of it, but I remember one night we were at dinner. We were just having dinner, you know, as a family. And she says, Dad, I can't eat this chicken, right? I said, what? How come? She said, because I'm a vegetarian. I said, you're a vegetarian since when? She said, since tonight. I said, okay, well, you've got to start eating vegetables, right? That's what vegetarians do. They all sit around and eat vegetables. You've got to start doing that. She said, I do eat vegetables. I love them. I said, you do? Like what? She said, like macaroni and cheese. That's a vegetable. Now, I don't know if that's a vegetable or not. I know it made a funny comic strip the next week, okay? And that's what I would do. Back when they were little, back when they were cute, back when my son was cute. He's 20 now. My real-life son, Rex, 20 years old. But back when he was a little baby, I modeled this dude after him, this little character named JoJo. JoJo is slightly younger. The character JoJo is slightly younger than the character Sonny. Trying to keep all this straight. There's two real kids here. Tess, who's 25. Rex, who's 20. Totally made up Sonny. Equally made up JoJo, right? Everybody's straight with all that. All right. And he was based on my son back when he was on. I mean, listen, I grew up without a father, okay? Let me just get that out the way. Listen, I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. It happens, all right? Now, there were other kids in my neighborhood. I grew up in a tight neighborhood in Philadelphia, man. I knew a lot of kids without a father. But at least you would sort of see their father. Like some of their fathers were absentee, you know what I mean? In and out. My dad, out. 100% out. One of my friends said, Rob, real quick question. Do you have a dad? I said, no, I don't have a dad. I said, really? Yeah, like Jesus. I mean, Me has a dad. We got the same father, me and him, me and Jesus, same father. That's it. My father was 1,000% gone. This guy took one look at me, because I'm the youngest of 5 kids. Apparently, he took one look at me coming out and was like, that's it, I'm done. Gone, headed for the hills, Jack. How are you going to abandon a baby like me, first of all? I was a fantastic baby. Unbelievable. So I have a great appreciation for fatherhood. And when you become a father, you discover love. Like my kids really, I hate to say this, I'm talking about my wife now. My kids gave me the purest and most real love that can exist. What do I mean by that? I mean that when I walk in a house, my son would lose control of all his bodily functions. He'd be so happy to see me, so full of love, he'd poop. That's love. You can't feel more loving than that. You know what I mean? Like, Daddy's home, ah, boom, ah. I became a dad. I said, wow, this is what it's all about. So that love is what has inspired the strip. More than like the characters or the people in my life, it's the love in my family, if you follow what I'm saying, that has inspired most of the material in JumpStart. Now, I created, oh, that's cool, look at that. I created twins recently. They got a surprise pregnancy, and twins were born. I had the pregnancy occur in real time. They had 9 months to think about the mistake they just made. They had, listen, they weren't ready for twins. They had life all figured out, Joe and Morris, all of a sudden, boom. As a matter of fact, I had the twins like in the womb as characters. Like they were in the womb, talking to each other, developing, They were like, I got arms today, watch this. Boom, what? Where'd you get arms from? I got arms, Something on your face, what is it? Oh, that's my nose, my bad, I just got that, They were in there together like, this is wild that we're like twins. Like, when we grow up, people are going to think I'm you, and they're going to think you're me, and we're going to play pranks on people, and you can stay home, and I go to school. It's going to be fun. And then, because they were both just little girls, and then one of them became a boy. He said, we're not going to be pranking anybody. She said, really, why not? He said, say hello to my little friend. JumpStart, you guys. JumpStart. Funniest comic strip in the paper. No offense to Garfield and those other guys. I love those guys. Some of those are good friends of mine. But let's face it, JumpStart is the funniest comic strip in the Indianapolis Star. Trust me on that. Now, how do you even get syndicated? How do you get to this point in your life? I'm a grown man. I'm drawing cartoons for a living in my house. I work in my underwear. Sometimes not even that. It's ridiculous, okay? I'm in the house. It's unbelievable. I had nothing to work with but coffee and magic markers. Dream come true. It's a great life. It's kept me very young looking. I'm actually 56 years old. I don't go to work for anybody, so nothing's turning me gray. I got no boss. It's zero boss. No office. I don't even want to rent an office outside the house. That might turn me gray. Stay in the house, right? So how does this even happen? Well, all right, I'm glad you asked. When I was really, really little, right? Like I was like 3 years old. Like my brother, I'm the youngest of 5, so my brother Mark, he's 5 years older, so he's 8, and he could draw. Like Mark could draw so well, he could look at television. We watched the Flintstones, and he could look at Fred Flintstone and draw him. The thing about Mark was he didn't have any ambition to become anything like that. Like he had zero drive. He would just sit there and go, I was like, what? That's Fred Flintstone. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm 3 years old, and my mind is officially blown. I said, I can draw that. Mark can draw it, I can draw it. Well, let me just sign my name on this first. Once my name goes on this thing, it's worth a lot of money. For instance, that drawing right there, $28. $1 for every year I've been doing it. All right, listen. I was 3. I was very excited. I said, I can draw. If Mark can draw, I can draw. Okay, there's only one problem. When you're 3 years old, you can't draw. Fred Flintstone came out looking crazy, like he was hooked on crack. That's supposed to be his head. His nose was way down here. One eyeball was out here. Other eyeball was over here. It was messed up. His mouth was messed up. His whole body was too skinny, see? He had that tie on, you remember that? The spots on his dress. But his legs were too long and skinny, see? It was looking crazy. One foot was going over here, in the wrong direction. Other foot too, going the wrong direction. Arms, when I was 3, I thought his arms came out from his head. Awful. It didn't look right. Fingers, I couldn't even count the right amount of fingers. Fred had 19 fingers. Oops. Well, actually, Fred had 19 fingers. It was awful. It didn't look like the Flintstones. It didn't look like Mark's version of the Flintstones. But here's what happened, you guys. My mom would come home from work. I mean, you're a single mom. Look, she had 5 little kids. This is crazy. She's working this job, that job, whatever. She come home from work, she's exhausted. She was like, oh my goodness, who drew that? I was like, me. No, who drew that one? I was like, me. You mean to tell me you drew this picture all by yourself? I was like, yup. I drew this all by myself. She said, oh my goodness, I'm gonna give you a star. That looks just like the ones on TV. I looked at Mark like, you get a star? No, well. I got a star. She said, I'm gonna take this drawing down to the dry cleaner where I work and show everybody. I said, wait a minute, Mom, I messed up. She's like, what are you talking about? They're not gonna believe you drew this. I said, Fred Flintstone's hair is colored in black on TV. She said, well, go ahead, color his hair in. I'm going to show my friends. I said, wait a minute, let me color his hair in. You know how when you're 3 years old, you can't color inside the lines at all? I was like, finish. She said, oh my goodness, 2 stars for you. She said, Robin, never forget the most important part of your artwork. I said, what's that? She said, your name. You got to put your name on that. It's worth a lot of the money. That's where I got that from. It's worth a lot of money. I said, that's right. Wait a minute. My name has to go on it. Remember how when you first start writing letters, but you can't write small letters yet? I was like, R. By the second letter, I'm off the edge of the paper on the second letter. O. No, nowhere to go but up. B. B. Now I'm writing tiny and tiny. I. N. Robin. My name is actually Robin, not Rob. But I got tired of kids saying, where's Batman? So I changed that. My mom said, now that your name is on it, 3 stars. She would take that to work. My mom would stop everybody walking, true story, man. Everybody walking down the street had to see that. She was like, look at this. People were like, what is that? It's the Flintstones. Just like the ones on TV. And they were like, oh. She said, here's the artist right here. Oh. Well, that was enough. That did it for me. Listen, I heard that. I was like, okay, here we go. I drew Fred Flintstone. I drew Fred every day. From the time I was 3 until I was about 10 years old, I drew 1,000,000 Fred Flintstone. I didn't have any other characters in my arsenal. All you need is one. I just had this one thing I could do. One thing. That's it. Yabba dabba do, okay? Stay inside the lines and everything, you know. This would blow my friends' minds. They could not believe, and it was always fast. That was my trademark. Speed. Wham! So my friends were like, you gotta see this kid draw Fred Flintstone, Robin, do it. I was like, cool, whip. I used to walk around, we couldn't afford any art supplies, really, so all I had was a piece of paper. I found out that my mom told me every time you buy pantyhose, you get a free piece of paper in there for some reason. And it's stiff, you could walk around with it, you could hold it up and draw on it. And for some reason, my mother used to shave off her actual eyebrows, and she would put on new eyebrows using art supplies. Eyebrow pencil, they call it. I called it art supply. I had my eyebrow pencil, the pantyhose, I was like, wham! Hey, even the bullies in school wouldn't mess with me. They were like, I'm about to punch that kid in his face, he's got a big mouth. I was like, wait a second, wham! It was like kryptonite. They were like, you just drew that? That's Fred Flintstone. I was like, that's right, back up. I'd do it again, I'd draw. They were like, can I have that drawing? I was like, you gonna hit me? No, man, we cool. If I can have that, I'm like, it's yours. As long as we're cool. As long as we're friends. Still looking for friends. Still doing it today. Still doing it today. But the problem, you give your artwork to some kid, who's a bully. He gets home and what he's gonna do. Bye. Jamal, His mom is like, you're so talented, 2 stars for you. Oh my goodness. Most people were very impressed. I had an older sister. Well, I still have an older sister. Judy, she's 4 years older than I am. She was not impressed. Because she felt, looking back on it, justifiably, like I was getting special attention in this family of 5. She was like, you get on my nerve, you make me sick. I was like, what? You can't even draw. I don't look like Flintstones, I don't look like that. You can get on my nerves. I was like, why can I get on your nerves? Because you can't draw. Make me sick. And on top of that, my mom always forced Judy to take me wherever she went. Mom, I'm going to the store real quick. Take Robin. What? I'm just going across the street. Take Robin. Mom, I'm just going across. You take your brother. She was always like, come on. I was like, okay. I had a feeling Judy had it in for me early on in our relationship, and still I have a feeling but I had a feeling she had it in for me because when I was like 18 months old, just over a year, and my mom used to bathe us together at the same exact time. I think this saves money on the water bill, I guess. I don't know what kind of money we're talking about here. 50 cents, you know. She would bathe us together, and Judy drowned me in the bathtub. Drowned me in the bathtub. We were in the bathtub. She was in the bathtub by herself first, right? My mom was like, the phone's ringing. You watch your brother while I go pick up the phone. And she's put me in the, don't put him in the bathtub, he stinks. She said, watch your brother. Get the phone. Ooh, wait a second. Oh, I ain't break done. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, she said, I'm gonna get the phone, you watch Rob. Hey, Judy was like, hey, Robin. I was like, you learn how to swim? I was like, yay! She said, good, hold your breath. There you go. That's right, that's swimming. That's right, kick your feet. That's it. No, the bubbles are good. Man, my mom walked back in the bathroom like, where's the baby at? Oh my God! She pulled me out of the bathtub. True story, my stomach was fat like that with water. She's pushing down on my stomach. Water was shooting out of my mouth. Like a cartoon. I think a fish jumped out. My oldest brother, I have my oldest brother, Billy. Billy's job in the house, with no dad, you can imagine, was to make sure Judy never killed me. Right? So he came in the bathroom like, oh my God, what's all that commotion? Robin's dead. What happened? Judy drowned him. He said, oh wow, Mom, keep doing that mouth to mouth or something. Give him some air, because that's not gonna, you do that. I'm gonna take care of Judy. Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. What's the matter with you? I'm gonna kill you. You killed Robin. Now I'm gonna kill you. Oh, he's breathing now. Phew, that was close. Because I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone in this family. Next time it was great having a dude like that as your brother. You know what I mean? Because the whole neighborhood, I grew up in the 60s. I grew up in Philadelphia. There was a lot of gangs and hostility. And everybody was nervous around Billy. Nobody messed with the Armstrong. Once you identify yourself as an Armstrong, they'd be like, hey man, leave that kid alone. He was like, who, what? That dude, why? You know Billy Armstrong? Yeah, that's Robin Armstrong, my fault. That's all my bad, man. Tell Billy I said, yo. He just had this aura. Scary dude was my brother. Not a scary big guy. Scary little guy. You ever see those scary little dudes you can't trust? Always up to something. Billy came home on a bike one day. I was like, that's a brand. I said, is that a bike? He said, shut up. Came home with a horse in Philadelphia. He was like, I said, is that a horse? Shut up. He would ride his bike, catch a cab, just. He would catch, I saw him on the back of a bus one time. Not inside the bus. Outside. On the bumper, like. Is that a bus? Shut up! One time he jumped off the roof. Our row house, we lived in a row house in West Philadelphia, and like, they were so close, there was an alley, but you could jump it. Not that you want to. He would jump it. They were tight. You could jump it. Y'all saw that? I jumped it. Oh my God. One time we were out there, and like, if it snowed for some reason, below our fire escape, it could snow like 1 inch in Philly, but for some reason, it would be deep under our fire escape. Shouldn't have had that. Billy jumped right into that. We were out there like, Dad, look how deep that is. Billy said, I bet I can jump into this and not get hurt. We were like, no! He was like, ah! Boom! I didn't even get hurt. I bet y'all can't do that. We were like, you're right. One time my brother built a launching ramp. No landing ramp. Strictly launching. And he found the bike. It wasn't lost. And apparently, I didn't see this happen, but apparently, I was in the back of the class drawing Fred Flintstone. Apparently, he launched himself in the air, and while he was airborne, the bike left. He was just like, vroom. Ah! True story, man. He landed face first on concrete, boom, knocked out all his adult teeth, and took his face off. Face off. I heard about it immediately. Bad news traveled quick. We had Twitter, 1968. As soon as he hit the ground, I was in the back of the class like, dee, 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 dee. Hey, Robin, what? Your brother Billy? Yeah, just took his face off. I ran home from school crying. I was like, you know, it's so cold outside. If you cry, you get icicles in your nose. I was like, I ran in the house. My mom said, why are you going home from school? I want to see Billy's face. She said, whatever you do, don't go upstairs and look at Billy's face. I went right up the stairs. Ah! Billy was like this. He was like this. Because we had bunk beds, you know what I mean? He was on the top bunk like this. All I saw was his back. I was like, let me see your face. He said, no, Robin, my face is off, man. Oops, wait a minute. Y'all can't put the brakes on this thing? Y'all didn't know a table needed brakes until I got up in it. Make sure you get a brick, something to stop this table. Billy was like this. I said, let me see your face. He said, no, my face is off, man. Get out of here. Why are you home from school anyway? Because I want to see your face. He said, my face is off. You're going to start crying if you see it. I ain't going to say nothing. I can take it. He said, all right. You start crying, I'm going to punch you in your face, all right? I said, all right. Let me see it. Ew. He turned around, man. He loved it because Billy had knocked out He loved it. He had knocked out all his adult teeth except for two Wolfman things. He turned around like, I ran outside to try to find his face. I was like, I think it was his nose right there. I was like, I think it was his teeth. I was like, face grew back. Teeth never came. My mom bought him dentures, put the glue in them. He's like an old man. He's always like, Robin, come here, I want to show you something real quick. Run, hurry up. I was always like, what? It's crazy. Billy, he only lived to be 13 years old. He was caught between the doors of a moving subway train in Philadelphia and torn into two pieces. I was 6. I didn't grasp his death. I had actually heard about death, by the way, when I was 6, but I didn't grasp his death. By the time Billy was killed in 1968, Dr. King had already been assassinated. And I had wept. I mean, I didn't know anybody that wasn't crying and carrying on. I wept like he was a family member. I don't know if you guys, remember that. Like, It was impossible to believe. It would be like, the closest thing would be like if Barack Obama was killed during his presidency. It was like that level of what? I knew death. I didn't get Billy's death. Billy was indestructible. And I was at the funeral acting like he wasn't dead, So my brother Mark said, why are you acting like that? I was like, acting like what? He said, Billy is gone. I said, no, he ain't. My brother Mark grabbed me under my armpits, picked me up to see inside of his casket, like this. Look. You want to know how I became, I better stop running around and carrying on. You want to know how I became the youngest syndicated cartoonist in this country? All that kind of stuff? All those glowing remarks that Thea read? I began to live urgently. Urgency, you guys, kids, listening to me. Listen. I was blessed. Had a big lesson in life at the age of 6. I was blessed. I never lived slowly again. I lived urgently. My mom said, do something, I did it. What? I did it. Boom. Pick it up. Okay, wait, I picked it up. Teacher said, do the homework. I did the homework. Here you go, here's your homework. Well, I got my homework. I'm the first one in line. My homework is done. Even my friends were like, what's going on with you? I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a cartoonist. My friend said, hey, man, we all stealing now, man. Hit this joint right quick. Hit this joint. We're going to go steal. I was like, I don't mess with drugs, man. You a drug addict. This reefer, man. What you talking about? You a drug addict. Plus, I'm going to tell your mom on you, too. Urgently. Living urgently. Couldn't be drawn into nonsense. Do you feel what I'm saying? I couldn't be lured or tempted or seduced by anything that had nothing to do with that. None of it was of any interest to me. This made me quite strange as a little black boy in Philadelphia. I'm telling you right now, I had accepted early on that I was not normal. I only cared about that and Bruce Lee. That was it. That was it. I walked around wearing the clothing from Enter the Dragon, the black with the thing and the okay? And I talked like I knew Kung Fu. I didn't know any, but I would talk like I knew Kung Fu. I know Kung Fu, man. People were like, Rob knows Kung Fu. Never had to prove I knew Kung Fu. Don't touch me. I'm a Kung Fu master. Plus, I'm an artist. I can't use my hands to break your face, so stay, And all this was working. My mom said, look, son, I'm taking all of us out of here. I said, out of where? She said, I hate the sound of that subway. I mean, part of the reason Billy was killed on that subway, it was so close to the house. Like, you could hear it every day, multiple times a day, and every time it went by, it was driving Dorothy Armstrong a little bit crazier. So she said, I found us a nicer place in a part of Philadelphia you never heard of called Winfield. Where do you see Winfield? So pretty, with trees and everything. So I didn't argue. I'm like, hey, sounds wonderful. I mean, I had friends where I was, but it wasn't like that. I was like, okay, well, here we go, We moved to Winfield. We got to Winfield, and my brother Mark, the artist, was picked up by the cops in the case of mistaken. He was still a minor. Mistaken identity, beat almost to death by the Philadelphia police. It's 1973. This is many, many years before all the Trayvon Martins, all the current stuff we hear about. Many, many years before that, my family became immediately embroiled in a fight against City Hall that lasted all through my teenage life. At the end of that fight, all 3 cops who had just beaten up a minor, all 3 were acquitted and literally laughed at my family and walked out of court. My mom was also embroiled in a battle with the transit authority because of the death of my brother, Billy. And that just dragged on and on and on. But we were now living in a better part of Philadelphia, and my mom said to me, son, I have great news for you. I'm getting you enrolled into private school. I said, why? What are you talking about? She said, son, you're a genius. Don't worry. You're going to love it. I said, I never heard the words private and school even in the same sentence. I didn't know what she was even talking. I said, I'm going to be in a school by myself? No, you're going to be among other gifted children. I don't want you around here. I said, Mom, these are my friends around here. She said, exactly. I don't want you around here. I said, it's my family. She said, I don't want you even around this family. I don't want you around here. That's what I do. She said, you're about to take some tests to go to private school. That's what you're going to do. Don't worry, you're going to do great. You're a genius. Don't worry about these tests. Because it was scary, take some tests. What? Hey, so I took these tests for private school. Hey, found out something about myself I didn't know. Found out I was not a genius. Not even close. They were nice about it, Mrs. Armstrong, we've tested Robin, and he's not ready for anything. But bring him back in 3, 4, 5 years, and we'll retest him. You can't tell a black single mom from Philly something like that. Don't listen to them. You don't know what they're talking about. I said, Mom, look, those tests were so hard. I totally understand what they're saying. Don't listen to them. I'm going to have you retested. I had to get retested, right? In the meantime, I was working on my own artwork in the house. I used to be in the house. And I decided to move past the Flintstones, right? And I did this little book called Mr. Birdie the Bluebird, about a little talking bird. And my mom, it wasn't a book. I'm calling it a book to you guys. It was 4 pages, stapled at the top, you know what I mean? We had a bird in it that got wounded, and the little boy found it and nursed it back to health. And when it got healthy, it said, "Thank you, Timmy." And you can talk? I didn't know that. He said, "Yeah, I can talk." "Why didn't you talk all this time?" He said, "You didn't do anything until now." The end. My mom went bananas over that. Mailed it to Random House and Scholastic in New York City. She said, "You're about to get into private school, and you're going to become a young published author right now." I said, okay. What? "I've sent your work to Random House and Scholastic. You ever hear of it?" I said, "Yeah, they make books. They make books out at my school. I'm forced to read books from them. You're about to become a public. Wait until they see Mr. Birdie the Bluebird." They saw Mr. Birdie the Bluebird, apparently, because it all came back to the house. Not even thank you, but no thank you, just came back to the house. I started crying. My mom said, "What are you crying for?" I said, they didn't like it. I'm still not a published author. She said, "You will be." Not with them, they blew it. I gave them the first chance. My book signing is tomorrow here in this library. Fearless, A Cartoonist Guide to Life. Tomorrow. I got 5 minutes. My mom was 40 years off, okay? But I did get good news, found out that the Shipley School accepted me. Private school in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. You guys ever hear of the Shipley School? I never heard of it. They were thrilled. "Oh, we're so great. They're so excited to have, real friendly. It's so wonderful to have you join the Shipley family." I was like, this is really nice. You got everything. He got soccer fields. You got tennis courts, butterfly catching. They said, "That's called lacrosse. That's not butterfly catching." "Well, welcome to the Shipley family." I said, "Great, real quick. Where are all of the other boys?" They say, "You're it. This is a girls' school. But we're co-ed now." I said, "Okay, cool. Where are all of the other black kids?" "You're it. We're diverse." I said, "Are you sure?" Shipley was just white girls who loved school. They would stop me in the hall. "Did you hear the good news? What, school's closed? We're having a quiz. A pop quiz." I said, "Oh, pop, what are you talking about?" Those girls had to perform at a certain level to be happy. I never saw any kids care about their grades before. They were crying after one of these quizzes. They walk out, "Oh my God, that test was so unfair, so unfair." I was like, "You're right, it was very unfair. How'd you think you did?" "I think I may have gotten a B." "There goes my GPA." I was like, "Yours too?" "What's a GPA?" And I found out what GPA is, man, because 7th grade turned out to be the worst 2 years of my life. They try to make it sound like great news. Mr. Armstrong, we have tremendous news for you. We're giving you a second chance. I went home, man. I said, Mom, you know I'm done with that school, right? She was like, what are you talking about? I said, Mom, they're trying to keep me back in 7th grade. She said, really, son? Why? I said, racism. You understand what I'm saying? I said, come on, Mom, think about it. I'm the only one they're trying to do it to. She said, I know one thing. After school, you outside with Stevie and Kenny and them every day, all loud on the front steps. 11 o'clock at night, you bouncing the basketball. I said, what's wrong with that? What's up? She was like, they're going to still be in their mama's house 30 years from now. You're supposed to be studying to go to college. Those girls are going to college. I was like, hey, I couldn't argue. Every Monday morning, I heard what college they just came back. Oh, my brother's at Stanford. It was fabulous. My sister's at Brown. So I'm torn. I'm thinking Stanford. I'm thinking Brown. I'm thinking black. My mom said, you're going to go out to Shipley. You're going to stop talking to Stevie and Kenny and all of them. And you're going to repeat the 7th grade. I was like, this. I became one of those girls. We're having a quiz. A pop quiz. I was dragging books home, Jack. I was like, this. I had to learn how to, listen, you have to learn how to learn. Any kid in here struggling with academics, I'm going to give you a secret right now. Stop it. Sit up straight. And whatever the teacher says, write it down. Whatever the teacher says, write it down. If the teacher sneezes, you're right, I chew. Everything the teacher says, you write it down. You just memorize it. Just memorize it. Like you're an actor in a television show called You, okay? I learned all kinds. I learned French. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? C'est ça. I learned that not from Shipley, actually. I learned Latin. I had to learn Chaucer in Old English. Chaucer was an Old English. And I had to wander opera with the shorty, the drought march, a parachute to the litter. And bothered in the vine with switch liquor. I was dragging books home like wandered opera with the shorty, the drought march, parachute. Those cats were my neighbors. I was like, get off my steps, man. I got to go in the house, man. No, man, we're gonna be running. I'd rather pick you on my squad, man. What you doing? You coming out or what? It's all late. Lights are coming on. You just getting home. What's going on? I was like, man, I'm about to punch you in the face. Move. You ain't coming outside. I was like, no, man, it's midterms. I got to go in the house. You changing, Rob. I was like, into what? What's that around your neck? I was like, my soccer cleats. What's that in the bag, man? Books. You white. I was like, what? You heard me, man. You be going out to that school, now it's all late, just getting home, you got to catch the train all the way out there, you got grass and soccer fields and lacrosse, you just get home, you got books in the bag, you white. I was like, you're right, move, I'm going to the house. Wandered opera with the shore, the brother marched and pierced to the and bothered in vine with switch liquor. I was not repeating 7th grade again, Jack. Got my acceptance letter at Syracuse. I said, Mom, I'm in college now. Look, I was an 11th grade student, by the way. So I kind of made up for that year in 7th grade. I said, Mom, I'm going to Syracuse. She was like, Robin, you did it. I said, no, we did it. Because she became a trustee. She was the first black trustee out there and all that. So we did it. No, she said, no, you did it. You're the first person in this family to go to college. Robin, all your dreams are about to come true. Anything you want to be, now you can be it. I said, Mom, listen, it's no big deal, you know. She said, Rob, it's a very big deal. Because God let me live long enough to see it. Listen, if something happens to me, promise me you'll never quit. I said, Mom, I'm not going to quit. Why are you talking like that? She said, I'm sick. I'm sick. I said, you're sick with what? Cancer. I said, Mom, you look perfectly healthy. What are you talking about? She said, that's weird. I look great, but I have multiple myeloma. It's attacking all my organs. Pretty soon it'll break my legs just to try to walk. That ain't a ringtone. That's a ring show. It was like, da 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 da. Wow. That's a church ring. You be in church and hear that? Is that the choir? No, that's just my phone, my bad. She said, Robin, listen, I lived long enough. I said, Mom, what are you talking? You're 49 years old. She said, that's more than time. All I wanted to do was live long enough for my youngest to go to college. So God answered my prayers. Don't worry, though. I'm going to see you off in that Greyhound bus off to Syracuse University. And she did, man. Cancer came and snatched her life. Freshman year at Syracuse. I haven't had any parents at all since I was 19. Listen, I ain't here to elevate my suffering above others. One thing we all have in common, everybody suffers. The rich suffer, the poor suffer, the black suffer, the white suffer, the president suffers. Everybody suffers. My suffering is not to be elevated, it's to be put into perspective. I know you got something you got to get through, homie. But nothing can stop a young person with a made-up mind. Nothing. It'd be nice to have Mommy here to see. My mom never lived to see that. I got syndicated at 26. That's 7 years before. She died 7 years before this happened. It would be nice if she's around to see my kids, my wife. She's never seen any of that. If you got Mommy at home, you got Daddy at home, make them proud of you. And do yourself right. Become somebody who's making a change for the better. I got to go, guys. Fulfill your purpose. And I'll see you in the funny papers. I got to go. I love you. Thank you.